Hey, Scott, Sambucci here. And one of the questions that we are fielding quite a bit nowadays, and a question that you're probably asking yourself is, how do I sell, or what should be my selling strategy when we're in a volatile market? And so what I've done here is collected a number of frameworks and perspectives that I think will be really valuable for you individually. So if you're a startup CEO and you're out there selling every day, or you're thinking about, like, how do I manage the team? How do I get my team thinking about this in a new way? How do we sell in a volatile market? I think some of these will be really useful for you and your team. So I wanted to share them here. I'm going to keep this pretty short. I'm going to do a much longer version of this as a podcast or a training of some sort. But for now, I just wanted to get some quick thoughts out to you so that you can share it with your team and maybe share it with some other people who you feel like might benefit from it. So number one is, don't believe everything that you think. We're all getting bombarded by information about the marketplace. We're getting bombarded about, obviously, the health system and how people are being physically affected by everything that's happening out there. And then individually, like, we're all getting affected because we're trying to figure out how to work from home. I've got an 8-year-old son that we're trying to homeschool. And I've got, my wife is a PhD economist at UC Davis, one of the top research institutions in the world. She's got that work to do. And she's a certified flight instructor. So she's trying to figure out now how to teach her students via Zoom, how to fly airplanes, right? And so it's easy for all of us to get, like, isolated and insulated and ask ourselves, like, hey, I think this is going to happen, or I think that's going to happen. My son asks me this all the time. He's like, hey, what do you think is going to happen? And my response is, it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is, based on data, what the experts are saying. And so just don't get lost in this and mired in this isolated chamber of, like, believing what you think, because what you think in a lot of cases may not necessarily be true. And that relates to selling, because if you get to a place where you say, I think nobody's going to buy, or I think it's going to be really hard to sell, then frankly, you could be quite wrong. And secondly, you're going to be limiting your ability significantly in how you're going to be able to sell and reach your marketplace. And so let's talk a little bit about selling. So the first thing you want to always do in a volatile marketplace is just think relationships first. So if you think about the people, your customers, first of all, you've got those relationships. Make sure that those relationships are sound and secure. Go back to those customers and ask them what they need. If they need anything at all, even if it doesn't relate to your product, maybe they need an introduction, maybe they need to hire somebody, maybe they got to figure out an exit strategy for employees that they have to let go. Just talk to them at a human level and really work and continue to build those relationships. And secondly, with prospects that you have in your sales pipeline, many of those prospects, if you're selling to the enterprise, if you're doing, business to business selling, these are people you probably met months ago, maybe even years ago, and they're in your sales pipeline. You met them at a conference back in Q4, and now, they're in the pipeline, and, they're supposed to convert and close in Q1, and now all of a sudden everything's getting delayed. And so it's easy to push. And if we push, we're going to get pushed back. And if we push, people are going to run away. So remember, relationships first, and focus on that human to human connection with the person that you're working with, so that they know that you are dedicated to solving their problem and that you understand their situation. From a selling standpoint, it's also really important not to think in terms of all and everyone. And one of the questions I got already is, in my marketplace, everything's going to be slowing down. Like, all of the people that we're selling to, nobody's going to be buying right now. What do I do? And I think that's really dangerous thinking, because regardless of your marketplace, like, let's say you're focusing on Fortune 500 companies. If you say all of the Fortune 500 companies are going to be hunkering down and none of them are going to be buying, everyone is shutting down, then what you're missing out is the opportunity to help maybe one person. So all the Fortune 500 companies, maybe there is just one that needs your stuff, that needs your help now more than ever. And so if you generalize and say all and everyone, then you're going to miss out on that opportunity. And so it's your job to go find that person that needs help then. And that leads us to this idea that your prospects are not going to panic buy. So don't panic sell, right? If you try to push, then they're just going to run away. And so don't focus on, how do I get a deal closed in Q1 because I have these Q1 numbers, or how do I get this deal closed in the next 4 weeks? Instead, what we need to do is remember, customers are buying outcomes. They're not buying your product, they're buying the outcome that your product gives them. And so it's our job to think about, well, what are some simple steps that we can take with our prospect, with our customers, in order to move closer to a stable outcome. And even if that outcome isn't getting the deal done in Q1 and it's going to take until Q2 or Q3, then that's okay. Because we have to remember that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I heard this first from Jocko Willing, the retired Navy SEAL, and he talked about how, if you're trying to rush through operations, that's where mistakes get made, right? So slow things down. Think about what are the stable outcomes that we can help them get to, and what are the simple steps that we can help our prospects follow to get closer to the outcome that they want to get. So slow things down, focus on the relationship, focus on easy steps forward. And this brings us to being a leader. So this concept of being a mayor of your town. It's like your town is the problem that you solve for your customers, for your marketplace. And you know more about that problem, and you probably know way more about how you can help your customers more now than ever before. So step up, be a leader, be a mayor of your town. Show your customers that you can help them, that you're not some add-on thing, that, hey, in this world of volatility, in this world of instability, that your product, your service is actually going to help them get more stable. It's going to help them get more streamlined. It's going to help them get to the outcomes that they want. Be the leader. People are looking for leadership. People will borrow certainty from the person who has the most of it in the room. If you come to them with certainty, I have a plan for helping you deal with this situation. Here's how we're helping other customers. Here's how we mapped our platform to the current situation. Let me show you how we can help you in this situation. If you are certain, if you're confident, and you can truly help them solve their problem, they will want to listen to you. People are looking for leadership, so give it to them. And finally, remember, your customers are on their own hero's journey, whether it's a volatile market or not. If you've read anything about the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell popularized this a couple of decades ago. And it's the idea that your customers are in this world where they are a hero. They have to go and fight on this journey, and they have to get to that place at the end of that journey. And they're in it right now. They've been thrust into this world of volatility. They've been thrust into this world of instability, and they're trying to figure things out. They're lost in a forest. There's dragons that are flying at them. There's fire pits everywhere. They're on this journey and they're looking for help. They need your help now more than ever. So be their guide. Help them remember, you're not the central focus of the story. The hero is the central focus of the story. Your job is to help those customers continue on that journey, be their guide, show them how to slay the dragon, show them how to leap over the fire pit, show them how to get out of the forest. That's your job, and that's your opportunity. So those are my quick thoughts. Like I said, I'm going to do a much longer podcast or training on this. But in the meantime, if you found this useful, and even if you can just think of one person, maybe it's another founder at another company or somebody in your team that you think could really benefit from this, please like this or share or comment so that we can get this message out to as many people as possible. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and Scott Sambucci, sign off.